TikTok just released a brand new type of post and has literally come out and said that if creators use this new post type, they're gonna boost the amount of reach that they're getting, and it has nothing to do with vertical video, aka the type of content that you're currently creating on TikTok. And this creator just switched over to this new format and was able to gain over 14 million followers in a really short period of time. And this creator was able to do the same thing, except they gain over 600,000 followers. And the same thing can happen to you so long as you adapt to the latest TikTok algorithm change. But first, you just smash that subscribe button. If you wanna go quick on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, I literally upload a video every single day about how to grow on these platforms. In addition to that, I just created a free TikTok growth course. You can get it at the pinned comment below. It's gonna tell you everything you need to be doing differently, what time you should be posting, what hashtags you should be using, and so many other different things. So what are you waiting for? It's literally 100% free. Just go to that pinned comment below and get into it right now. So that new type of content that TikTok wants you to post is going to be landscape videos. And if you haven't yet, you're going to soon get a notification that looks exactly like this. And it is going to tell you everything that you need to do. And you can either opt into this program or you can opt out of it. And I would strongly suggest that you opt into it because they literally state in the notification that they're going to boost the amount of views that you get so long as you implement the new type of content that they're trying to get you to create. And here is a list of guidelines that you need to follow. A few things I want to point out for you. 1, the content needs to be over 1 minute long. 2, you should be using hashtag longer videos within your posts. And 3, it should be within landscape. So long as you're doing those 3 things and following the rest of the guidelines, they're gonna boost the amount of views that you get simply for creating longer form content. And the reason that TikTok is doing this is they're trying to compete with YouTube, and they're gonna start competing with YouTube in a totally different way. In fact, in the future, I have a really strong feeling that it's going to be more similar to YouTube when you open the TikTok app, where you can do shopping, you could scroll short form content, and you can scroll long form content, and you're gonna get more of a home page as opposed to just hopping onto TikTok and having to scroll the whole entire time or going into the shopping feed. And this is the first iteration of this. And the way that you're gonna be able to take advantage of it is by hopping on this thing immediately and making sure that you're implementing the 3 other changes that TikTok just released. Because if you're not following the 30% rule, the 4-week rule, or the SL rule, it's going to destroy the amount of reach you're getting right now. And that's because TikTok is now giving you completely different analytics when you go to look at the insights on one of your posts. Now you're gonna be able to see how many followers saw your content versus non-followers, and you're also getting an audience retention graph. Now, of course, we've always had that audience retention graph for like the last year or 2, but the non-follower versus follower thing is a massive new change that you need to be paying attention to, because you need at least 80% of the reach that you're getting to come from non-followers. If that's not happening, it's going to lead to you seeing a decrease in the amount of followers that you're getting, or you might even start to lose followers. And a lot of creators right now have started to lose followers on TikTok simply because they're not reaching enough non-followers. And there are a few things that you need to be doing differently to ensure that that happens. The first one is you need to be implementing and paying attention to the 30% rule, which states that you can't have more than 30% of your audience leave your content in the first 3 seconds. If you do get more than 30% of people to leave, which is a bad thing, guess what ends up happening? TikTok stops pushing out your content, and they're not going to show your content to more non-followers because they don't think it's something that keeps people on the TikTok app. And then as a result, they don't want to show your content anymore. And there are 3 ways that you can get people to stay through the first 3 seconds of your content. The first one is you need to have a clip change within the first 3 seconds. The second is you need to have text on the screen, or you need to be answering a question that your audience has asked you by doing something like responding to one of your comments with a video. This is a really good way for you to be able to add a hook into your piece of content, but please don't choose the most bland comment out there. You want to choose something that's really spicy and that's going to capture people's attention. And the third thing that you need to make sure that you're doing is you need to make sure that you have text on the screen and you have a sound that actually plays into the emotion that you're trying to create. If you go and look on the TikTok For You page right now and scroll the content that's actually showing up, I bet that it has all 3 of those components. And if you're able to implement that into your content, you're gonna pass the 30% rule. And as a result, you're gonna get more views from non-followers. But that's not the only rule you need to pass. You also need to be focused on the 4-week rule. And what the 4-week rule states is that your content, or the topic that you're creating content on, needs to be relevant up to the last 4 weeks. So a lot of creators right now are making the mistake of just making random content, or they're posting about a topic that isn't as relevant as it used to be. You need to make sure that you're staying hyper relevant to what matters to your audience today, because if you're not, guess what's going to happen? TikTok is not going to push out that piece of content you created because they're not going to think that they actually have an audience for that piece of content. They're essentially 3 ways that you can make sure that your content is passing the 4-week rule. First one, you need to be looking at your competitors and see what type of topics they're creating content on. This doesn't mean that you're copying them, but it does mean that you're creating content around the same topics but adding your own 2 cents or your own humor or your own jokes or your own education, and then guess what ends up happening? Makes it really easy for the TikTok algorithm to understand, hey, people in this niche are interested in this content. This creator just did something on this. Let's show this creator's content to all these people that like this other person's piece of content. The second thing that you can do is you can make sure that you're staying up to date on what your audience is actually searching for. For example, last night was the Grammys. Taylor Swift just announced that she's releasing a new album. So guess what? That type of content is going to crush right now on TikTok. It's probably going to crush for the next week, and so many people are going to be searching for it. So many people are going to be watching content about it, and then guess what TikTok does? Goes and serves that content to more and more people. So if you're able to hop into something like that, it's going to skyrocket the amount of views that you get. And the third thing that you can make sure that you're doing is using TikTok's latest feature, which you can see on their desktop app.
So in order to access that new feature, you need to come onto TikTok on a desktop, you need to come over to Explore, and then boom, you are literally going to see a bunch of different posts for a bunch of different niches. And guess what? This is the content that is trending right now under all of these. I mean, you can literally find it for daily life vlogs, for beauty, for games, for outfits, aka fashion, for food, for animals, for family, drama, fitness, education, technology. It literally has a ton of them. And if you click into each one of these, it's going to show you a lot of the most viral content, and you can continue to scroll down here. And then on top of that, you can click into each one of these posts and actually see what is trending for these creators in real time, because these posts might not always be up to date. But if you go in, you can see the other content that they're creating, and this is going to reveal to you the hooks that are working, the lengths that are working, the topics that are working, and even videos that you can recreate or you can get inspiration from if you're lacking with video ideas. And all of these, for the most part, hit that 4-week rule.
Which brings me to the SL rule, which is incredibly important on TikTok. But first, I need to make sure that you're not making a few mistakes. The first one is you need to make sure that you're not using too many hashtags right now. If you're using too many hashtags or you're putting them anywhere besides at the end of your description, it's going to destroy the amount of reach that you're getting. The second thing that you need to make sure that you're doing is not only creating content over 1 minute long that's landscape, but also creating 1 minute content vertical, because TikTok has literally come out and said that 50% of people watching TikToks right now are watching content over 50 seconds long. So if you're creating content that's the wrong length, guess what ends up happening? You don't get the views that you want. And then that third thing, you need to make sure that you're posting when your ideal audience is online, not when your followers are online. Because if you post when your followers are online, only your followers are going to see your content. But if you post when your ideal audience is online, TikTok is going to show your content to more non-followers, and this is going to increase the amount of views that you get. Which brings me to SL. SL stands for similar length. And what I mean by this is you need to not only be going based off of your niche, but you need to drill down to the exact topic that you're talking about. Let me give you an example. If you were creating a video right now about how to get 6-pack abs and you made that video 11 seconds, well, guess what? That might be the right thing to do, or that might be the wrong thing to do. Instead, what you should be doing is going and doing a search for how to get 6-pack abs. You need to add the filters on TikTok for the last 4 weeks and for most liked. You then want to pay attention to those top 4 videos and see how long they were, because if they were 1 minute, 55 seconds, a minute and 20 seconds, and 2 minutes long, well, guess what? Your 11-second video isn't going to get pushed out because TikTok doesn't think that it's in the correct format to reach the audience that you're trying to reach. Then as a result, you literally just wasted your time creating that piece of content because TikTok isn't going to classify it as a piece of content that they want to show to other people simply because the length was wrong. Now, at this point, I know that you're serious about growing on TikTok and you want to get more followers, you want to get monetized, or you want to be able to make more money from TikTok, and I personally want to help you. In fact, I want to look at your account, tell you everything that I would do differently so that you could grow quicker and get more reach. That sounds interesting? Well, please keep watching this video because I've got a special offer for you. The opportunity to grow on TikTok and this organic reach that we're currently seeing is not going to last for forever. And the only 2 things holding you back from getting the followers that you deserve right now on TikTok and the followers that you want is 1, you haven't implemented the steps that I share with you in this video to help you get more followers. And 2, you haven't gotten into my TikTok mentorship program yet, where I literally am going to guarantee that I help you get more followers in the next 30 days, or you get your money back, 0 questions asked. And the way that this works is I'm going to tell you exactly what to post, when to post, what hashtags to use to guarantee that you get more followers in the next 30 days. If that sounds interesting, interested, then please go to the link in the description below and get signed up right now. The average person that's gone through this program has gained over 50,000 followers, and nobody has ever gone through it and gained less than 6,500 followers if they implemented everything that I share with them. And since you're still watching this video, I'm going to assume that you're above average. So the odds of you gaining over 50,000 followers is probably quite high. And it doesn't matter what your background is or what your niche is. This program is going to help you get more results faster and easier. If you're struggling right now to grow on TikTok, you need to get into this because every single day that you wait, it's only going to get harder to grow. So what are you waiting for? Go to the link in the description below and sign up right now. You literally have absolutely nothing to lose. You're going to get more followers on TikTok, or you're going to get your money back. In fact, this creator just went through this program and gained over 10 million followers. This creator over 14 million, and this creator over 16 million. And I want you to be my next success story. So please stop procrastinating, invest in yourself now, and get the TikTok followers that ultimately you deserve. Or I strongly suggest you check out the next two videos I put up on the screen because they're the videos YouTube thinks you should watch next. Thank you so much for watching.